All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tate Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly over here and Brandman Brandon. And these guys are going to talk about, I'm all turned around. They're going to talk about Renfield, the new Nick Cage movie about Dracula. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it, so I won't be able to talk much about it. But I'll be here and help guide the conversation. But Brian, you got a quick synopsis for us?
Oh, yes, definitely do. Renfield, the tortured aide of his narcissistic boss Dracula, is forced to procure his master's prey and do his every bidding. However, after centuries of servitude, he is ready to see if there's a life outside the shadows of the Prince of Darkness.
Oh,
that's pretty much what's going on. Yeah,
straight out of the trailer. I think that was everything the trailer showed us. Yeah. So we'll get into the ratings at the end with some Rotten Tomatoes and box office numbers. But before we do that, we'll start off with some of the good stuff. What you guys liked about this one? Let's go first.
Go ahead, B.
All right, no problem. First and foremost, I thought the movie was legitimately hilarious. There were a lot of good laughs that this movie gave me, and it blended the horror and comedy, or not even horror because it wasn't scary, but it was quite brutal.
Yes.
So it made the most of its R rating in terms of the gore and violence factor.
Yes, gore.
It really didn't shy away from that.
He ripped off the dude's arms.
Yeah,
and then they're throwing the arms around.
Used them as projectiles.
You killed one person with another person's arms. It's awesome. You got to see it.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people were in when it came to this movie because of Nicolas Cage's Dracula. He definitely did not disappoint. Just the acting all around the table. Nicholas Hoult is great in pretty much everything that he's in.
Yeah.
And it really did run with the plot point of Renfield trying to complete a 12-step program. Which was hilarious. So it didn't just have that and then abandon it. It really did go all the way with that premise as well.
It did well too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are my favorite things about it.
I love Nicholas Hoult. So who plays Renfield, the fact that he goes to basically a meeting for your narcissistic bosses, whatever, and he finds all the bad people in their life, and he tries to use those bad people as people that he feeds to the Nicolas Cage Dracula. And they're so terrible people, and he's killing these people. He's dragging them to him, right? And he's and Dracula can't regenerate because it's this terrible blood, it's terrible stuff, and it's hilarious. He wants a bus full of cheerleaders or a coven of nuns, and it's just that's why I really need to regenerate, and he doesn't give him those things. I love Renfield's transformation. He becomes a full-fledged kid. He has colored sweaters. Oh, he's just a little kitty cat or something like that. He has colored walls. He has his own apartment. He has all this stuff. It's so fun.
Wait, so he doesn't live with Dracula then?
He finds his own place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He allows him to find his own place. So so Dracula's sitting there calling him, and he's not answering his phone. He's not answering his calls through his through his mind because he has the mind control. It was fun. It understood the assignment. It gave you a lot of gore. It gave you a lot of fighting scenes. It didn't have to make sense all the time. The story was actually pretty good. I was surprised that the story was decent. And the acting was fun. I enjoyed my experience.
Okay. So some things I had fun. What about some bad things? Some things you guys didn't quite like?
While it did do really good with its premise, I thought it could have done a little more with it. The whole Renfield completing the 12-step program was great. I would have been fine with them doing even more with Nicolas Cage's Dracula.
Yeah, actually more.
You have Nicolas Cage as Dracula. This is the role. Nicolas Cage is known for being manic and over the top, which is one of the which was one of the biggest reasons I'm like, oh, he's going to be awesome as Dracula, and that's the thing, he was. I think they could have done more with him. I think also the third act did kind of veer off into very generic final boss showdown kind of territory. I thought I would have been fine with them doing a little bit less in that regard. I'd say that was where, like, I don't want to say it lost me, but I was kind of, at the same time, I was like, that was just okay. And I'd say I was kind of on the fence about the Awkwafina character. You know,
I wasn't on the fence at all. I'll tell you all about it in a second.
Yeah, like I have a thing about like main characters teaming up with cop characters. It kind of gets a little boring to me from time to time. I guess it worked for what they were doing with it, but at the same time, it was like I might have thought about doing something different. So those were my things. One more thing that I did like about it was the runtime, because it didn't wear out its welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was the pacing was good. It's nice to be reminded sometimes that not everything needs to be like a 2.5 near 3 hour epic. We're getting a little Hollywood's kind of doing that a little too much nowadays. So it's nice to be reminded that movies can last an hour and a half and some change and still kind of do their job.
Yeah. So real quick before you go, Brian, we got Zach saying, I just got back from my second viewing. I love this movie. So Zach really likes it. And I'm pretty sure, Zach, let me know if you have a review out. If not, I know there's going to be one soon. So anybody watching, go check out Zach's channel down there. Then we got Brandon Davis said, fun fact, I watched Forever Purge this weekend, and the scene where they went into the movie theater, Dracula was playing, and Renfield was the character on screen. Yep. So there you go. That's kind of funny. And then Jorge said, I'm on the fence with Awkwafina in general. There you go. So I guess it's a good lead in. I do. So there you go. So go check out Zach's channel. Give him a sub. He does a lot of cool stuff over there.
Very good reviews. I enjoy watching.
Very good reviews. Very fun lives too.
He's fun. Yeah.
So make sure you go check him out. But Brian, what you got, man? What didn't you like about Renfield?
I thought that they really missed the boat with Nicolas Cage. He should have been more on screen, a lot more. Nicolas Cage is so over the top. He was so good as Dracula. Literally, we probably only got him on the screen in the first 2 acts, maybe 10 minutes.
Wow.
Like really, you really missed the boat with that. I understood it was about Renfield, but Nicolas Cage's Dracula is just this perfect casting. Like it's in your mind, you think of it and you laugh because that's what it is. Like, I mean, I feel like they missed that, and I feel like we got too much Awkwafina in it. I just, it's hard for me, though she's a very pretty girl. Like she's pretty, you know. I can see people saying she's attractive. I totally understand that, but it's hard to see her as a love interest because of the way she acts sometimes, you know. And when you're trying to hit over the top, she's the love interest for Renfield, just didn't hit for me. You know, her sister, I can see that. You know, but her, you know, she's too Awkwafina all the time. And it's weird for me to say that in a Nicolas Cage movie because he's Nicolas Cage all the time. But she's too much, and when you're a side character, sometimes that takes away. I feel like sometimes, but you know, I thought the story was fine. I thought that everything else was good, but just too much Awkwafina, not enough Nicolas Cage. I think if you put those ingredients into it a little bit differently, you get a better movie at the end.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else with the good or bad? So Brand said exactly about her. I don't buy her Shang-Chi as a love interest.
Yeah. It's hard when you. I mean, even Renfield, like he looked like he likes her, and it's obvious she likes him, but it just didn't buy the chemistry. Like they're on the screen, I could buy them as buddy cop doing things, cool, fun things on together. But I couldn't buy them as he's just. I don't know. I can't buy her as the love interest, and that was my biggest problem
with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else before we get into the rating? Any last thoughts?
They did not develop a lot of characters, guys. There was not a lot of character development in this movie. You only have an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's what my big complaint about. If you're not going to develop a lot of characters, then give me more Dracula.
Just one character.
Yeah. Maybe more.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I didn't expect very much character development in this movie anyway. So, I'm not surprised by that. But with that being said, I'll let you guys do your ratings. So here at Spoiler Kings, we do things a little different, a little nice and easy. We do now, later, or never. So a now ranking means you got to drop what you're doing and go check it out right now. Later means you can wait till it's out on streaming, watch it at home. And never means skip it. Don't waste your money. Don't kill your brain cells watching it. What do you guys are giving Renfield? Brandon, let you go first.
I would have to say, and this was kind of a tough call for me, I'd give it a later, only because, I think there's a lot more things out at the moment that I enjoyed that are worth more of a second viewing, like Dungeons and Dragons, which I've already seen more than once. The Mario movie was fun. There's a couple more. Evil Dead's getting ready to come out. So there's a lot of other things that I'd probably divert my attention to seeing in the theater. This you don't necessarily have to see in the theater. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely a fun time. I had a really entertaining time watching it. But I think the only things that really crippled it is, like Brian said, the co-star Awkwafina. It was fun, but it just didn't run far enough with its premise at times. It ran, it ran with it at times, but it didn't run as far as it could.
Yeah.
So I don't want to call it a wasted opportunity at all. It definitely wasn't. But at the same time, I can't really be like, drop what you're doing and go see this now. More like, give it a watch when you're able to give it a watch.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd have to say later for this one.
Okay. For me, I also will give it a later. I'm going to say I actually think I would enjoy this movie more at home than I'm going in the theater. There's nothing about the theater that enhances this movie. Sometimes you have Dolby sound. It's so dark that you have you feel the sound, you feel the character in it. There's nothing about a movie theater that really enhances it. But being at home and being able to enjoy the Nicolas Cage part of it and enjoy the absurdity of some of these things, I think will be even better. I honestly believe that this would be one, if it's his streaming, it's going to probably break some streaming records. It's going to be one of those things that people are going to love to hate, or even love to love. It might be something that keeps on coming back and back and back, like a lot of Nicolas Cage movies do. Yeah. So, and not a lot of people saw this in the movie theaters already. So I think I'm not alone in saying that. But I honestly think this is a later movie, something when you get a chance and when it comes on streaming, you'll probably enjoy. Sometime in August, you're going to enjoy watching this movie.
Yeah. I mean, with the way it is, they might wait those 45 days and
they didn't come right out.
It's right out, so you might get it in
June,
2 months. Yeah. Cool. But so we'll look at some of the numbers. So we got Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 58% from the critics and an 80% with the audience. So that's kind of interesting. So audience really enjoyed it, but the critics, obviously, just from seeing the trailer, I didn't think the critics were going to like it anyway. So that's not too surprising.
Because they could compare it to an actual movie and to an actual Dracula movie. But no, it's just a funny spoof, horror, gore comedy. And that's what it really is. And if you go in knowing that, you're going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought it might score a couple more points with critics, just, especially with the talent involved. Chris McKay wrote and directed it. He did the Lego movies, I believe.
Mhm.
He did the Tomorrow. He wrote and directed the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt. So he's made some pretty solid stuff. And when I heard that he was doing this one, I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good. His brand of comedy kind of suits this. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But obviously the audience liked it. 80% is not too bad for an audience number. It's not bad.
Because it's perfect for 93 minutes of enjoying Nicolas Cage be a vampire, the role he was born to play. Like, he's literally over the top and always that way. Like, he's so good at being Dracula. I just wish we got more of it. It's great. I enjoy that.
Yeah, but Horgy was right. Yeah, it opened up. So I remember before going to see it, it had really high numbers, and then went down. With the critics as it went out, and more critics went to go see it and stuff like that. So, but yeah, 58 for a spoof is still not too bad. I mean, I know a lot of critics tend to be too critical with some, especially on a spoof like this. But it is what it is. But the real number that the box office or that the studio cares about is the box office. So it made 7.7 million domestically, 10 million globally,
worldwide,
which is wow.
Whoa,
compared to Mario's second week of 87 million.
Well, I don't think that's fair, Mario. But compared to The Exorcist, the Pope's Exorcist,
the Pope's Exorcist,
and that beat it still.
Yeah,
that's where you're like, oh, okay, people don't want to see this. Because I also think that you don't know exactly what it is. They don't know exactly where to put it. Is it a horror movie? Is it a gore movie? No, it's just a fun movie, guys. That's what it is. It's just a fun movie. And I almost wonder, does it do better its second week?
Maybe. I can see it doing better, but I don't think it's winning because this upcoming week we got Evil Dead, and obviously I think that I don't know if that's going to beat Mario, but that's going to do better than 7 million. I think that's going to do pretty good. If the Pope's Exorcist did about 18 million, I mean, I could see that getting around 30, and even Mario maybe dropping down to like maybe 50 at this point.
I think Mario still makes money, but 50.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe going to make $950 million. Basically what I thought
Mario?
was going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to.
It's going to come close to that bill.
It's going to be really close. It really, really close.
Yeah. So, yeah. Why watch this when Evil Dead Rises on the way? True. So
because it's fun. It's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
You have to understand, Nicolas Cage just does fun movies, and you can enjoy the experience. Yeah. It's not a horror movie. It's not. Yeah. I didn't look up the corner of a screen at one point in time at all.
So it's safe.
So it's safe, guys.
Brian's safe.
It's so safe that it was like an 8-year-old right next to me in another seat. I was like, your parents letting you watch this? As they ripping off people's arms and stuff like that and knocking people's head off. And it was like, fine, whatever. It was so absurd that they didn't have a problem with it.
Well, yeah, it was correct. But I can see people going to watch Evil Dead Rise and being too nightmare fueled that they might go see Renfield just as the palate cleanse. Yeah. But with way better reviews to boot. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, and Mario's on track to make a bill. Yeah. It's like have collapse and miss. Yeah.
Well, so let's say they make 50 million this next couple of next weekend, and then it makes 40, and then it'll start slowing down. I think it's going to be real close. I think eventually it makes, because I think the numbers from overseas, international numbers, are going to push it over the bill.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it has a chance to be the highest grossing animated film of all time. There's a good chance it's going to do that. It's already broken a bunch of different records for animated and video games. But yeah, I mean, right now that's the one to beat. I thought maybe Renfield, just because Nick Cage and it being so goofy, might have came close, but it didn't even come in second. It was that kind of sucks, but like I said, I haven't seen it. I'm still gonna go see it. I love Nick Cage. The Holt is a pretty good actor, and seeing a good spoofy, stupid movie is always fun. So, and both of you guys give it a later, so I guess I'm right in the category of seeing it later.
That's what you did, yeah.
Yeah. So, but anything else, guys, before we call it?
No,
just it's fun. So like you're not wasting time. You literally go in the movie theater at 1:00. You'll be out of the movie theater at 2:00, including the previews. It's done. I mean, at 3:00, you're done. Like you're not wasting a lot of time. You can go see that as a pilot, like as a prelude to another movie. That's how fast this movie is.
Do it, yeah. So cool. But so that is it. That is these guys their review of Renfield. Both giving it a later. But let us know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Let us know if you liked it. Do you think it was stupid? Did you skip it? Are you gonna watch it later? Are you gonna wait till it comes at home? Like I think both of you guys recommended watching it at home. So, so I don't know. You're gonna check that out. Let us know. Leave a comment, and we love chit chatting with you guys. And then if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna start announcing our 1,000 sub giveaway. 850, we're going to announce our third place, so that's right around the corner. So make sure you hit that sub button and hit that like button, and it lets YouTube know we're doing some good stuff over here. But that is it for this one. If you're watching on replay, appreciate it. Thank you. If you're watching live, stick around. We're going to finish things up. But later.
Thanks, guys.